Hello everybody, Washu here, and welcome to The Strange Journey of the Couriers, an RPG Maker visual novel game by Noree. This is going to be the first 2 chapters. This game is not yet complete. I picked it because I thought it looked very interesting and the characters had very nice designs. So, let's see what this is about. I like the names the way that they are. We're going to be ready. Couriers are Mathis, Illness, and Eder. Are you happy with these names? Yes. This story begins with 3 couriers, all from different nations. Matthias, the diplomatic courier of the nation of, Autumn, belonging to the land of change. Illness, the royal courier of the nation of Hakana, belonging to the land of life. And finally, Eder, the secret courier of the nation of Coma, belonging to the land of light. One day, the couriers received a mysterious package which had an address, but no sender. All the packages have something in common, which was a small note which was attached to the side. This package must be personally delivered to the ruler of the land of eternity, where the grassy fields are bathed in white, where the mist hides the most precious of the landscape. Where the, blah blah blah. After reading this, the couriers prepared to go on a journey with the purpose of fulfilling each one with their duty. However, their destiny is to embark on this journey together. The mysterious Eder will be in charge of making this possible, but, will it be a good decision after all? He will continue forward with firm steps without knowing what this trip will bring him. There you go. The strange journey of the Okay, so we're people and we're delivering things. How seriously we... Whoa! The path, that is very interesting. The path to the left. The sun is shining as always, and you're calmly walking along a path surrounded by flora. You attentively listen to the sound of morning birds singing as you think that you made a good decision to deliver the package yourself. After a few minutes walking, you notice the presence of a sign, so you decide to zoom in for a closer look. Yet, you lose yourself in thought and wonder if you should read what it says. What do you do? Of course I'm going to read the sign. Hold on, we're going to save already. Look at that. Let me break immersion. What the? Oh my god, we have 18. Saving. It's probably not needed, but... What do you want to do? I'm gonna read this. Steal the sign! Oh my god. We're just gonna read the sign first. You decide to read the sign and focus all your attention on what is written on it. Always follow the path to the left. After reading this, and you get a little confused and you look in front of you. Okay, there are no lefts on this road. It is a straight line. As you suspected, there's no other way than the one you're on. You remain silent for a few minutes and decide to move on, ignoring what just happened. Good plan. You walk a few meters and notice the presence of another sign. That's right, another sign. Watch, this one's on the right side of the road. It's like, no, actually, only take rights. Your expression says it all, but you decide to approach it for a closer look. What should you do? I will read it. You decide to read the sign and focus all your attention on what is written on it. Always follow the path to the left. Reading this baffles you. Have I read this before? You said that while trying to remember something. You just kept going through, trying not to think about it too much. Maybe we're trapped in a loop. Oh no. You walk and walk for a few hours and notice another sign again. Oh my god, it's the same one! You notice again the presence of yet another sign. Is the sign following us? What? Another sign? Confused and nervous, you approach to read the sign again. No surprise here, you already knew what was written on it. The thought that you had been going around in circles disturbed your mind for a few moments. It didn't last long, though, as you luckily noticed a rock path which led into the forest. Now, how do we know that the person who put these signs here isn't just a troublemaker, Wouldn't that just be a dick move? You just put a... Yeah, always keep to your left so you're going in a giant circle. We need proper sign vetting. You entered the forest following the rock path. A few minutes after walking in, you could hear the sound of running water. You came out of the forest unscathed, if a bit tired. It was there that you had a moment of reflection where you questioned yourself. What would have happened if you had decided to keep walking? You didn't know it, but while these thoughts were going through your mind, you continued your trip as you planned. Well, bam. Okay, I want to see what happens when we... Hold on. I will save real quick here. Look at my mouse just completely breaking immersion. Ah, I guess you've already sent the package to the couriers. Tell me, how are you so sure they're best fit for the job? Not sure, actually. So, you don't trust them? Isn't that obvious? Haha, my lady. Don't worry, I know they'll do fine. You're always so confident, you're hopeless. Prize room, number 1. Oh my god. Would you like to save? Nah. Yes, I will save. No. I'm gonna see what happens when I steal the sign. Hold on. Is it different? I'm gonna fucking steal the sign. This sign is mine now. You look closely at the appearance of the sign. You stare at it in silence for a few minutes while you think about how beautiful it is. It is one hell of a sign, dude. Look at it. Quickly, the idea of taking the sign without permission comes to mind, so you decide to take it with you. You have obtained the sign. You continue for a few meters, and suddenly you get a small feeling of deja vu as you keep walking. You ignore your absurd feeling and you continue down the path. After a few hours, you insist on walking despite still having the feeling of having already been there. You stop and take a deep breath. Nerves take over your mind and you think for a moment. What should you do? Stay off the path. Keep walking. I'm gonna save. That's what I'm gonna do. I would like to stay off the path. Although you had a hard time accepting this decision, you bravely strayed off the path through a small opening in the trees that looks like it's to the right. Wait, we stole the sign but we didn't even read it? After continuing to walk aimlessly, you saw something familiar in the distance. This is when you realized you were back the way you came. Oh no. Defeated by the exhaustion of having walked for half a day, you decide to give up and return home. Oof. Big oof. The courier editor, agitated by his bad luck to... Oh my god, this is so much text. Doris saw that lovely reaction through his own body. He placed the package at the kitchen table, proceeded to change his pajamas, pulling himself into the sheets and falling fast. Oh my god. I'll leave for tomorrow, what you can't do today. End 1. Whatever. Happy end. Pretty comfy looking situation we got going on here. Who needs to work? Okay. What if we take the sign and we keep walking? You decide to continue on your way in the hope of finding something different to help you move forward. You walk for hours and hours, and with each step you take, your motivation weakens. Defeated by exhaustion, you think about giving up. Don't give up, Eder. But a thought of pride prevents you from doing so, and you persist in following the path you were already on. You still keep on walking the same path. That's when you watch the night fall, but your pride is stronger than you think, so you insisted on walking on. The courier Eder mastered the art of walking for hours without giving up. However, he did not master the art of sleepwalking. So after finding a comfortable place to lie down, the courier fell like a stone and falls asleep. He kept walking on. This is somewhat less comfortable looking than our nice bed. This is why you don't get out of bed in the morning. You never know when you're going to be trapped on a... whatever. Whoa. Prize number 2, gallery. Who is that? Was that Illness? Okay. What do I want to do? I don't even want to read the sign. What am I? I'm out here delivering packages. What do I need a sign for? You deeply think that what is written must not be something important. So you decide to forget about it completely and be on your way. Later. You walk a few meters and notice the presence of another sign. Another ignorable object. That's right, another sign. Your expression says it all, but you do still decide to approach it for a closer look. What should you do? I'm not going to read it. Don't read the sign. Despite having the urge to read this new sign, you flatly refuse to do so. Look how mad that sign is in the background. And carry on as if nothing happened. You walk and walk for a few hours and notice another sign again. Oh, it's pissed off. You notice again the presence of yet another sign. What? Another sign? But this time you are determined to read it. Always follow. Oh. After reading that, you notice how similar the previous signs you've seen were quite similar. This thing is following us. At that moment, you realize the thought that you had been going around in circles disturbed your mind for a few moments. It didn't last long, though, as you luckily noticed a rock path which led into the forest. Oh my. You entered the forest following the rock path. A few minutes after walking in, you could hear the sound of running water. We got out of here, Eder. You came out of the forest unscathed, if a bit tired. We came out of the forest not physically scathed, but emotionally scathed. It was there that you had a moment of reflection where you questioned yourself. What would have happened if you just decided to keep walking? What would have happened if we just never read this sign? Would it become like a thing that follows us for the rest of our journey? You don't know it, but while those thoughts were going through your mind, you continued your trip as you'd planned. Well, bam. Okay, Chapter 2. The Sound of the River. After going through that confusing path, you kept walking attentively along the rocky path that you had seen a moment ago. Uh-oh, we're cold. After walking for a while, you feel a slight tremor in your legs and, so we're shaking. Automatically, you start thinking about how exhausted the long walk you took before he left you. Forgetting about that unwelcome state, you move on, making your way through countless bushes. And, as if fate was trying to give you a sign, ahead of you was a sign. Dude, your silence was clear enough to notice how unimpressed you are that you've come across yet another sign. You don't want any more fuses or fusses with these strange signs, so you read it immediately. Follow the sound of the river. Reading this, you couldn't help but frown. What the hell is going on with these signs? It's like, Before finishing that sentence, you fell silent, so much that you could hear the wind vibrate in your ears. You slowly look around, without saying a word. You circled the site, while you kept lookout on the surroundings. So you stopped, and completed the sentence you drifted a while ago. It's like someone was, saving. It's like somebody was watching me, following me, communicating with me. It's like somebody was watching me. That's right, it feels like someone was watching you. You were about to finish your sentence when a sudden noise distracted you, and you immediately directed all your attention to the direction from which it came. And there it was, a large bush firmly set in a kind of sus way. You saw it without making any movement, patiently waiting for it to move or make that sound again. You stand still and wait a couple seconds, but the bush still doesn't do anything. You think that you're being a little paranoid and thinking that someone is trying to watch you. What do? Stand still and keep looking at the bush. You decide to continue staring at the bush without moving an inch from your current position. A few minutes pass and still nothing strange happens. You think this is a waste of time, but something inside you prompts you to keep staring at the bush. Stand still and keep looking at the bush. Once again, you stare at the bush, hoping it will move, as if you and the bush are in a staring contest. You think about giving in to the idea of giving up, but it's too late for that. There's no going back now. You don't want to lose to a bush. This is no longer a staring contest. This is an epic battle of resistance between man and bush. You don't want to do anything else. Just stare at the bush. The courier Eder continued staring at the bush for after a few hours. His will would not allow her to lose interest as significant as a bush. But these minutes that passed into hours, those hours for the days, another months. There was a total of 1,236 rounds with the loss of the courier that's finally given out more than a simple bush. Damn it. Man versus bush. Beat the shit out of it. Does that bush have abs? Wait a minute. Eder was right all along. This time we're gonna... Following me. It's like someone was following me. That's right. It feels like someone was following you. Oh my god, is it another bush? You were about to finish your sentence when a sudden noise distracted you and you immediately directed all your attention in the direction for which it came. It's the bush again! And there was a large bush firmly set in a kind of sus way. Let me see. This time, I'm gonna forget about it and reread the sign. You don't have time for that, so you decide to drop it and come back with the sign. You turn to remember again what was written on it, but the sign was gone. What? You were fooled. You're left with the desire to reread it again, but it's not necessary because since your memory is so good, you remember perfectly what it said. I don't remember what it said. Follow the noise of the river? What'd the sign say? Oh my god. Saving. Dude, I'm pretty sure it said follow your heart. Exactly. Follow your heart. You're not quite sure what that was, but you have no choice but to trust yourself right now. You close your eyes and remain silent. Listen to your heart. Oh my god. You try to concentrate, but you can't do the constant noise of the river. That's when you remember what the sign said before it disappeared. I wanted an alternate ending, where we fell in love with the bush. Or the sign. You continued through the forest, following the sound of the river, guiding you at the same time along the rocky path you were already walking on. The path on the left looked a little sloping. One on the middle looked ordinary, and the one on the left was quite dark. You hear that the sound is coming from all three paths equally, so you're forced to choose one of the three. You think a lot about this decision after all. Choosing the wrong path can cost you time. Are we in a hurry? You silently look at the three paths and you decide which one to choose. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have so many things. We're gonna not listen to the sign. We're gonna go on the right path. You're about to go on the path to the right due to your lack of patience to think of a better option. You can't see much since the sun's rays don't enter through this part of the forest. Despite this, you continue walking in the hope of finding some light or simply a way out. You walk blindly through the forest towards the unknown. You don't know where you are. Uh-oh. The only thing you know is that you are lost, so you think it's better to sit still and wait for something to happen. Uh-oh, the courier Eder did not move from that place for hours. He was aware that night was going to fall and would search for more difficult. Suddenly in the distance, a small spot among the trees, he finds a circle of luminous mushrooms. Eder, amazed by the beautiful event, decides to stay to see the light show that the mushrooms manifested. Wow, this was, mushroom night. Don't eat those, Eder. Alright, what about the middle path? You walk a few minutes, continuing going deeper and deeper into the forest. You reach a point where you can no longer hear the sound of the river. Uh-oh, this is probably the wrong way. You had chosen the wrong path. Well, we found one of the paths that wasn't correct. That doesn't make it wrong. The middle path got you nowhere, so you decide to go back the way you came. Unfortunately, you couldn't. You don't remember where you came. You'd been disoriented. Despite this, you do not give up, and immediately afterwards you try to find your own how to return. This will take much longer. The courier Eder continued to search for a way out through the forest. Hours of searching were spent, which unfortunately were in vain. However, he wouldn't give up so quickly, so the search continued for another couple hours. Noticing the absence of sunlight, Eder immediately knew that night was about to come, so he took some branches he found around the place and quickly built a fire. How resourceful! The courier decided to camp in that place for the day. After all, he had no choice but. Wow, this text is going a lot. That's a lot easier to read at that speed. Oh, but we're getting marshmallows. Camp in the woods. I like we have marks on our face like we're going like Lord of the Flies. Alright, we'll go the right way. You're about to go to the left path due to your lack of patience. Think of a better option. You walk for a few minutes, and in the distance, you manage to find an opening in the intense light between the trees, which seemed like an exit. Quickly, you go out, and the blinding light of the sun receives you. You hear the sound of the river, and with high intensity, almost as if it were in front of you. Wow, how pretty. It's there. You observe in front of you the distance of the landscape. And you realize you took the wrong path. Wait a minute, all three of them were the wrong path. The path to the left led you to the river, however, not exactly at the same level. You found yourself on a cliff approximately 90 meters high or more. Jump. You lean out to look down. You can see the river, but when you see it, you feel vertigo running through your body because of how high you were. Uh-oh. So you can't stand being there for long. You turn around and you are about to return, but as if everything had been orchestrated by a greater force. You take a false step and you fall. Uh-oh. You're falling. You know you will fall into the river, so you will not die. However, you must land in a place free of rocks. Uh-oh. You must ask facts. What should you do? Close your eyes and wait. Throw your cape in the air. You decide to perform a maneuver in the air. So you toss your cape into the air, giving you a chance to move around a bit and land in a safer part of the river. You fall in the river, the current is strong. Oh no. You try to hold your breath underwater as the current drags you into the unknown. You can't keep it for long. Is this my end? You think as you release the air that you were trying so hard to hold. Everything starts to darken. This is your end. No! Wait. What the? Uh-oh. We died? I don't think Chapter 3 is available yet. Nope. I'm gonna throw your hat to move in the air. I'm gonna close your eyes and wait. You close your eyes and wait for the fall without doing anything. You suddenly hear a crash. Oh. You open your eyes and you realize that you're trapped between two tree trunks attached to the cliff face. Your beloved hat had saved you from a hard fall. You can't free yourself from this. Trying to do anything else would be dangerous, so you decide to stay there until someone else can rescue you. The courier Eder doesn't move for days, listening to the sound of the river and nature over and over again, hoping that someone will show up and give him aid. He doesn't have any luck. After a few days, a couple of birds looking for a new home decide to make their nest in the courier's hat. Due to the hospitality of Eder, they're good friends at all. After spending several months together, they become a family. Oh wait, this is a happy end. Hell yeah. Do they bring us like food? Bird family. All right, I'm not sure in terms of the like CG gallery here if there was some CGs I missed or not. I'm sure there probably was, but looks like I got all of the endings that are available up to this part. We got cute little... we give up and we just sleep. We gotta move around. We got sleeping in a far... But the sleeping with the sign, I guess, is what we're doing there. We have fighting a bush, for lack of a better thing to do, I guess. We have marshmallow time, camping time. We have happy mushroom time. And then we have bird ending, happy family time. Definitely haven't delivered the package yet, but doing what we can do. I think there was a little bit about characters as well. Named Eder. We're a 27-year-old. We're a man. We're a turtle. Our nationality is Koma. And our title is The Mysterious. And our favorite food is, let's look like onigiri. And not favorite food, we don't like fish. What an interesting reversal of what I would expect for a turtle. And we're friends with a sign and birds. Not our best character so far, but that's the only character we've seen so far. Illness. 21-year-old. She's actually just a human. She's from Hakana, and she's a royal courier. She likes chicken, and she doesn't like soup. Or whatever that is. Is that soup? I can't zoom in. We got Matthias, 23-year-old. He's a dude. He's from Autumn, and he's the diplomatic courier. He likes salad. Wow, and he doesn't like soup either. Well, out here not representing soup. Look at that. Alright everybody, that's going to be it for the strange journey of the couriers. So far, I think we're off to an interesting start. This is definitely kind of a slapsticky game where you never know what kind of endings you're going to get. I love these because it's kind of like a collectathon. This game appears to be being released in chapters, and I'm not sure how many chapters there are going to be. I might do every 1 or 2 chapters, I'll update this playthrough of it, because that seems to be a little bit more of a sizable piece, but at any rate, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.